Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alright, in this video we will look at the describing data, where we focus firstly on the qualitative data. Alright, so let's look at the qualitative data. So how can we describe qualitative data? So firstly, we can use the what we call this as let's look at the first one. So we will have frequency distribution. All right, so we can describe qualitative data using frequency distribution, taburan kekerapan, and then we'll look in detail what is frequency distribution. All right, and next we can have the contingency table. All right, and then we will have pie chart. Right, so this one maybe you're already familiar with pie chart, and then we have the bar chart. And for bar chart, we have four types of bar chart here. So the first one would be simple bar chart, compound bar chart, and then component bar chart and percentage component bar chart. So we'll look at each of these in detail. Right? So let's look at the frequency distribution. All right, so suppose we have this ungrouped data, right? So this is ungrouped data in which the data is, kind of spread, all right? Spread something like this, right? So now we want to put this in table. So what we can do is that we can put in the grade first, all right? So let's say we have the A plus, let's say we start with A plus first, right? So we will have A plus, and then we'll have A, and then we have B plus, and then we have something like this, right? A plus, A, and then we have B plus, and then we have B, and then we have C plus, and then we have C, and then we have D, something like this, because the tables given here is not enough here. All right, so the row is not enough here. All right, so let's say we want to find for the A plus. What we can do is to find the A plus from the data. So we will cancel one. All right, so put S tail in. All right, so another A plus will be another one, and then one. Okay, another one, so will be here, and then we have A plus 1. All right, so we just have this A plus of 4 A plus only, and it's kind of like this. All right, so let's now do for A. Let's see, so for A, maybe you can use another color. All right, so A1, and then A, okay, you have to here. All right, A. When you have 5, you have to cross like this. So we call this as tulang ikan, right? So tally, right? So this is what we call tally. And then we have another A, we put here, A here, and then we have A, how many A's already? Okay, I think 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, we have 9 A's here. Right, so 9 students scored A. So we do the same thing for B plus, B, C plus, C, and D, and then we obtain this frequency distribution table. All right. So to be safe, when you already count the data, you have to mark using cross or whatsoever it is, and please put tally in the table so that you don't make any error in calculation and counting. All right. So let's suppose we have this. I think football games. Sorry, I think sports. So we have volleyball, football. All right. All right. So let's try to make this in frequency distribution table. So we have like a B, suppose F, V, T. Right. So now you have to count one by one. Suppose for B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have 5 here. Right, so that's one is for B, and then you have to do for F 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right, something like this. And then you have to do for V 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have 6. And then you have H. Oh, another one is H, right? All right. So you have to do 1, 2. Only 2 H, right? So you'll have 2, and then for T, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. When you total up, you have the same number of the data given. All right. So this is what we call frequency distribution. This one is for ungrouped data, where ungrouped data is the data is being spread out. All right. All right. So now This is the next one will be the contingency table, or sometimes called as cross tabulation table or cross classification table. All right. Suppose we have this. Okay. We have a survey of 500 commuters is conducted to know their preference towards a new traffic system. From the 500, 200 are male. So what we can do is to take out the information from the question. So we have the 500 first. All right. So from the 500s, we have 200 males. All right. And of course, the other 300s will be the female. All right. We don't. So now we can okay, the result shows that 50% of the male commuters prefer a new system. So from the male system, 50% of them will be the 100. So they prefer the new system, right? And 45% prefer the old system. So 45% from that 200 will be 90, right? 90. This one prefer old system. And those without preferences will be the 10 people, right? How do I write this? All right, this one is new, old, no preferences. All right, so 10 males commuters there. Right, and then we have to do the same thing for female. All right, so we read the questions. Majority of the female, 75% preferred the new system. So you have to calculate 75 from the 300 would be 225. All right, so this one prefers the new system, and only 2% of them do not have any preferences. So you start with the one with no preferences, which is 2% would be 6 people only. This one no preferences. Of course, the rest will be 69. Okay, the 69 people prefer the old system. Right, so this is something like this. So now you want to put this in the cross or contingency table. All right, so our table will be something like this. All right, okay, so we will have something like, okay, for the new, okay, for the male, look at this, the mind map that we have just written just now. Right, so for the male, new will be 100. So I'm gonna use black color, 100. All 90, 10. So the total of them will be 200. Okay, and then we have female. All right, so new 225, old 69, and no preferences would be 6, and the total would be 300. Okay, 300. And then the total, when you total going down, you get kind of 3 to 5. Here would be 159, and this one will be 16. All right, when you total this to the right, and then you will get 500, a total of 500 commuters involved in this survey. Right, so this is what we call the cross tabulation table, where you can see, okay, with respect to gender, with respect to the preferences of the systems. Okay, all right. So the next one will be the pie chart. All right, so the pie chart, suppose we have this data. The data represents the number of students according to their faculty. All right, so we have this number of students according to faculty. So now we want to make a pie chart. Right, so to make a pie chart, we know that the shape of the pie chart is actually in circle. Right, so we have to use the compasses. Right, protractor and compasses to draw this pie chart. Right, so firstly you have to find the angle and percentage for each faculty. Right, so how to find the angle? We know that a circle will have 360 degrees. All right, so we want to know the students from faculty of computer, like for example the first one, faculty of computer, how many angle does it represent in the pie chart? So to calculate that, we firstly need to calculate the size of the angle. All right, so we take the values, which is 250. All right, we divide with the total number of students will be 1,200. We multiply because it just takes the values on the degrees of the circle, so will be 360 degrees. All right, so when you calculate this, all right, so you will get 75 degrees. Okay, what about the percentage? You can calculate the percentage by having 250 divided by 1,200 and then multiply with 100, because it is percentage. The total percentage will be 100, but the total angle will be 360 for the circle. Right, so now you calculate this and then you will get 20.83, right? 20.83%. And then you can do the same thing for the art, for the business, for the medicine, and also accountancy. And then you get something like this one, you get 96 degrees, and then you'll have 72 degrees, 45 degrees, and also 72 degrees. The total should be 360 degrees, all right? For the percentage, we'll have 26.67%, and then you'll have 20%, and then you'll have 12.5% and also 20%, and the total of the percentage should be 100%. Okay, so this is how to create the pie chart. To draw the pie chart, you have to firstly find the angle and percentage, and then your pie chart should be something like this. All right, so you should start with, please take note that to draw a pie chart, so we have to draw this line first. All right, I'm gonna highlight this. Right, we have to draw this line first. Okay, we have to draw this line first. Okay, which color should I use? Okay, this one maybe. Okay. Okay, we have to draw this line first, the vertical line there. All right, so you start with the, okay, we know that for the computer faculty, it takes 75 degrees, so you have to calculate using, you have to measure using your compasses, and then you'll get something like 75 degrees here, and then of course you'll draw a line there. All right, we know that, okay, something like this, and then you proceed with the next one, will be 96 degrees. From this to this line will be 96 degrees. All right, more than 90 degrees. All right, so in your pie chart, you don't write this angle. All right, in your pie chart you don't write the angle, but what must be written in the pie chart is the percentage, right? The percentage. If you have many colors of the highlighters, and then you can shade using your highlighters, and if you don't have that, maybe you can make in terms of pattern. Like for example, the first one is something like this, the second one is something like this, right? To show the difference between the category, right? And then you have to make like you know, kind of citation, right? Explanation, right? So like, if you use that, okay, this one is a faculty of computer, okay, something like this. If you use this one is for, right, so the business, right? All right, sorry, arts, okay, art, something like this. And in this case, if we use color, and then we should show the color represent which faculty, right? So this is your pie chart. Okay, next one. And don't forget to label your pie chart just now. All right, I can't go back. To put the title on your pie chart over there. All right, if it is your about students and the number of students according to faculty. All right. So next one will be the bar chart. For bar chart, we'll have 4 types of bar chart. But firstly, we look at the simple bar chart. All right. Suppose we have this kind of data. So a simple bar chart is something like this. All right. So please take note that I'm gonna stress on important parts here. All right. So firstly, this title is important. Don't forget to write your title. And then you have the labels for x-axis and y-axis here. All right. So in this case, here is the x-axis and y-axis will be the sales in RM 1000. All right. And then please take note that for the pie chart, you will have gaps here. All right. Between the years, you will have gaps. Right, don't write your pie chart something, sorry, bar chart something like this. All right, this is histogram. We don't want to see histogram here. We want to see bar chart, so please put gaps. All right, please put gaps between the bars. All right, so you can use only one color here because we just involve one variable. All right, but all right, so I think that that's all for simple bar chart. So what if you have 2 variables or more? Right, suppose we have, in this case, we want to see the imports and exports. So you cannot use the simple bar chart, but what you have to use is actually the multiple bar chart. Okay, so sometimes the name is multiple bar chart, cluster bar chart, or compound bar chart. Why? Because we have two or more variables here. Two or more variables. All right. So two or more components there. All right. Okay. So we have something like this. Right. So suppose okay, I'm gonna stress on this title is very important. Right. Refer to your question. If the question is about imports and exports of banana by multi company, and then you write the title over there. Don't forget to write the title. In the assignment, most of the students forget to write the title, forget to put the label for the x-axis and also y-axis, right? So please take note that between year there has been gaps there. We have gaps, and then we should label, all right? So the pink color is actually the import and the purple color is the export, something like this. All right. So you can see that the data has two variables, which is the import and export there. Right. So this is what we call as multiple bar chart or cluster or sometimes compound bar chart. All right. So let's now look at the component bar chart. What is component bar chart? Meaning to say that we want to combine all the three components here. We have more than one variables, but we want to combine on only one bar for each year. Like for example, in this case, all right, we have something like this. We want to see product A, this is A, B, and C only on one bar for each year. All right, so we will have to write in component. Please take note that, all right, please take note that I'm going to stress on here. Like for example, in 2014, the product for A is actually 15 years. So please take note that the values here is 15. All right, that's how you measure. All right, for product B, which is 12, so 15 plus 12 would be 27. So the values here is actually 27. Okay, all right, so and the total is actually 12 here. What about for C? For C is actually 8, and then you just add 27 plus 8 would be 35. So this one is actually 35, so this one is 8. So this is what we know, we call it as component bar chart. Right, we combine all the variables only on one bar. All right, so please take note that, okay, I'm gonna always remind that the title is important. This one is the label for x-axis, this one is for y-axis, and don't forget to write the presentation for the products by the color. All right, and we have gaps here between years. Right, okay, so this is what we call component bar chart. But another one will be the percentage component bar chart. It's basically the component bar chart, but we want to make it as a percentage, meaning to say that we want to stretch this bar to be up to 100%. Each bar will be 100%, so we want to see each product by percentage. Right, so let's look how does it look. All right, so it's something like this. Okay, suppose we have these. All right, so firstly you have to calculate the percentage for each. All right, so you have to calculate the percentage for each product. Suppose we have the first one, you calculate the percentage. All right, so this one will be 43%. You have to calculate by 15 divided by 35, multiplied by 100. And then you do the same thing, 12 divided by 35 multiplied by 100, and then you get 34%. All right, and another one, 8 divided by 35 multiplied by 100, you get 23%. Right, the total will be 100%. So this is your percentage component bar chart looks like. Right, please take note that each bar for each year is actually the size will be from 0 until 100 here. Right, so it is full bar here. Okay, and please take note that the values for A, like for example this one is 43%, so the values here is 43%. Okay, 43. The presentation for each product is actually by percentage, no more by the amount 15, no more, but it is by percentage. And the next one will be 34. So 34 plus 43 will be 77. So this one is 34%. So of course one is 77. And the rest will be 23%. So this one is 23%. So 23, 34, and 43%, something like this. And then we have to do the same thing for each year, 2015, 2016, and 2017. And we'll have this percentage component bar chart. And I'm gonna remind again that the title is very important, and the label for the x-axis and y-axis, and this one is the label for the representations of the colors for the products. All right, so basically we have frequency distribution. All right, and then we'll have contingency table, and then we also have the pie chart, and the last one will be we have the bar chart. For the bar chart, we have four types of bar chart. We have simple bar chart, we have component bar chart, and then we have multiple bar chart, and then we have component bar chart. Sometimes the component bar chart is named as stack. All right, so this component sometimes named as stack. Why? Because it is stacked on only one bar, stacked. All right, tersusun. Okay, so and the last one will be have percentage, the percentage component bar chart. All right, so that's all for the qualitative data. In the next video, we'll look at how we're going to describe the data used for the quantitative data. Thank you for watching.